Hey, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, I want to sort of introduce a little bit with the Bach Flower Remedies. I got this Oracle deck off Game Crafter. So I really want to share with you a little bit about what are Bach Flowers. Okay, so I got this book. You can get any book in regards to Bach Flowers, but I got this one in particular. Okay. And it has got some really cool images and everything, like some good things. So let's look at what is Bach Flowers. Okay, let's have a look. The Bach system. This method of treatment and the 38 remedies which comprise its pharmacopoeia were discovered by Edward Bach, a renowned physician who practiced for over 20 years in London as a Harley Street consultant and as a bacteriologist. His name and fame is perpetuated by the 7 Bach nosuds, which he discovered and which to this day are still in use. The late Edward Bach, with a whole lot of letters after his name, gave up his lucrative practice and research in 1930 to devote his full time to the finding of the remedies and the perfecting of his method of flower healing. He sought for remedies in the plant world which would restore vitality to the sick and ailing, so that the sufferer would be able to overcome his worry, his fear, or his depression, and in that manner assist in his own healing. The remedies used in this method of treatment are all prepared from the flowers of wild plants, bushes, or trees. None of them is harmful or habit-forming. They are prescribed not directly for the physical complaint, but rather according to the sufferer's state of mind, according to their moods of fear, worry, anger, or depression. An inharmonious state of mind will not only hinder the recovery of health and retard convalescence, but is the primary cause of sickness and disease. It is well known that a long-continued fear or worry will deplete an individual's vitality. It will cause him to feel out of sorts, below par, or not himself. Under these conditions, the body loses its natural resistance to disease. It is in a fit state to become the prey of any infection and any form of illness, whether it is a cold, rheumatism, digestive disturbances, or any of the more serious diseases. Therefore, it is the patient himself, not the disease, who needs the treatment. It is an absolute exemplar of an old dictum that there are no diseases, only sick people. When peace and harmony return to the mind, health and strength will return to the body. There's Dr. Bach's own book, The 12 Healers and Other Remedies. He describes 38 remedies, one for each of the most common negative states of mind or moods that afflict mankind. Divided the negative states of mind into 7 groups under the following headings: fear, uncertainty, insufficient interest in present circumstances, loneliness, oversensitivity to influences and ideas, despondency or despair, and overcare for the welfare of others. Under the heading of fear, there are 5 remedies for 5 different kinds of fear, such as terror, fear of the unknown cause, fear of an unknown cause, or known cause, fear of an unknown cause, fear of the mind, losing control, fear of the mind losing control, and fear of other people. Example, the remedy for terror or extreme fear is rock rose, is given when the patient or those near and dear to him are seized with sheer terror, when the accident or illness appears so severe that there is little hope of recovery. The nature of the condition or the name of the disease makes no difference. If terror is present, then the remedy for terror is the one which the patient and his family or friends about him require. The Bach remedies are absolute benign in their action. They can never produce an unpleasant reaction under any condition. Therefore, they can be safely prescribed and used by anyone. And this was Dr. Bach's intention, that man could bring about his own healing. The Bach remedies can be taken with any kind of medicine with absolute safety. There's not the slightest danger of harmful or conflicting effect to either medicine. The use of this handbook is ancillary to the 12 Healers and Other Remedies, which is the most essential booklet on the subject. It cannot be too strongly urged that it can be read with the latter always at hand. For a thorough understanding of Dr. Bach's book, it's essential to have an understanding of 38 flower remedies. There are lots of books available, so go through it. Okay, Prone. The greatest gift that you can give to others is to be happy and hopeful yourself. Then you can draw them up out of their despondency. The actions of these remedies is to raise our vibrations and open up our channels for the reception of the spiritual self. to flood our natures with the particular virtue we need and wash out from us the fault that is causing the harm. They are able, like beautiful music or any glorious uplifting thing which gives us inspiration, to raise our very natures and bring us nearer to our souls, and by that very act to bring us peace and relieve our sufferings. They cure not by attacking the disease, but by flooding our bodies with the beautiful vibrations of our higher nature, in the presence of which disease melts away as snow in the sunshine. There is no true healing unless there is a change in outlook, peace of mind, and inner happiness. Okay, so that sort of explains a little bit about the Bach flowers. I'm not going to go into too much detail about prescribing, going through the interview. I think this sort of takes it into a little bit more depth. I will read the prescribing for oneself. When prescribing remedies for self-treatment, it's helpful to notice how one reacts to certain circumstances. Observe your own reactions when you are tired, or in a serious emergency, or when an important decision has to be made, or even when the weather is lowering and gloomy. At such times our defences are down, and our true, one might say, our naked, unadorned feelings come to the surface, free from self-excusing justifications. When we are tired and irritable and cross with everyone around us, we need impatience. If we're depressed and if we seem to find no light or happiness, we need gentian or mustard. Sometimes we may laugh or sing in an effort to be cheerful, or in order to appear less tired. That condition calls for agrimony. If we plunge headlong into the pathos of self-pity, we need chicory to brace us up. When we seem to lose interest in everything and to pay no attention to the conversation going on around us, clematis is indicated. If, on the other hand, we feel that life has treated us badly and that we have much to do, willow is a remedy to prescribe. If we're cool and collected when the kitchen catches fire, we are the vine type. If we feel frightened or something we need, mimulus. And if we become truly terrified, rock rose. Let us examine the important question of reaching a decision, for in our reaction lies an answer to our type of character. The remedies offer the greatest help at such times. Let us learn how to avail ourselves of their useful properties. If we seem to be hesitant and indecisive, saying to ourselves, shall I do this or shall I do that? Sclerianthes is clearly indicated. If, on the other hand, we make up our minds immediately on the basis of a snap judgment, and we feel that others lag behind us in making up their minds, we need impatience. And if we also need further reflection on the matter, if we fear that our decision might not be the right one, take mimulus to forget our fear and to confront the problem head on. If we have the impulse to ask the opinion of one and all, accepting the opinion of a qualified specialist, we surely need serato and possibly an expert opinion as well. The matter boils down to this. Once our difficulties have been recognized, take the appropriate remedy or remedies at once. Do not wait until ill or out of sorts. We should welcome the strength these remedies give us in overcoming our negative state of mind. We may rejoice in the fact that we can remain calm and serene, even though we are tired or have an emergency to meet, a decision to make, or just another grey day to face. They can be recommended for pregnancy and childbirth, for children. And I'm not going to go there. There are some case histories in the book, of course. I'm not going to prescribe for mental distress and emotional tension. You can use for animals. Okay, many persons have found that the Bach remedies are most helpful for both animals and plants. This is hardly to be wondered at when we think that both animals and plants have the same temperamental difficulties we have. They too have become frightened, nervous, angry, impatient, dreamy. They may also want to be alone, or to the contrary. They may want continual attention. Each cat or dog, or for the matter every animal and every plant, is a definite individual being, and all of us are of the same substance. Therefore, it's no wonder that less involved creatures and plants also have their own personalities and their own characteristics. They are closely observed. Prescribing for them is not a difficult matter. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of things there. The prophylactic aspect of the Bach remedies, I'm not going to go into too much there. I don't want to go into a whole lot of things. Okay, now let's look at the 38 remedies. Okay, we've got agrimony, which is mental torture, worry concealed from others. We've got aspen, which is vague fears of unknown origin, anxiety, and apprehension. Beech, intolerance, criticism, passing judgment. We've got century, weak, willed, too easily influenced, willing, servitors. Serato, distrust of self, doubt of one's ability and foolishness. Cherry plum, desperation, fear of losing control of the mind, dread of doing some frightful thing. Just to give you a few. Chestnut bud, failure to learn by experience, lack of observation in the lessons of life, hence the need of repetition. Chicory, possessiveness, self-love, and self-pity. Clematis, indifference, dreaminess, inattention, and unconsciousness. Crabapple, the cleansing remedy, despondency and despair. Elm, occasional feelings of inadequacy, despondency, exhaustion from overstriving for perfection. Gentian, doubt, depression, and discouragement. Gorse, hopelessness and despair. Heather, self-centeredness, self-concern. Holly, hatred, envy, jealousy, and suspicion. Honeysuckle, dwelling upon thoughts of the past, nostalgia, and homesickness. Hornbeam, tiredness, weariness, mental and physical exhaustion. Impatience, irritability, extreme mental tension. Larch, lack of confidence, anticipation of failure, and despondency. Okay, next I have mimulus, fear or anxiety of an known origin. Mustard, black depression, melancholia, and gloom. Oak, despondency, despair, but never ceasing effort. Olive, complete exhaustion, mental fatigue. Pine, self-reproach, guilt, feelings of despondency. Red chestnut, excessive fear, anxiety for others. Rock rose, terror, panic, and extreme fright. Rock water, self-repression, self-denial, and self-martyrdom. Celoranthus, uncertainty, indecision, hesitancy, and unbalance. Star of Bethlehem, after effect of shock, mental or physical. Sweet chestnut, extreme mental anguish, hopelessness, and despair. Vervain, strain, stress, tension, and overenthusiasm. Vine, dominating, inflexible, and ambitious. Walnut, oversensitive to ideas and influences, the link breaker. Water violet, pride and aloofness. White chestnut, persistent unwanted thoughts, mental arguments, and conversations. Wild oat, uncertainty, despondency, and dissatisfaction. Wild rose, resignation and apathy. Willow, resentment and bitterness. And that's it. And then the 5 remedies which compose of the rescue remedy are Star of Bethlehem for shock, Rock Rose for terror and panic, Impatience for mental stress and tension, Cherry Plum for desperation, and Clematis for the bemused, far away out of the body experience, feeling, which often precedes fainting or loss of consciousness. So there we are. So let's have a look at the cards here. You've seen the unboxing. So you can see that they've got a watercolor sort of image there with the title on, with the plant on top. So let's do a shuffle and let's see what we're focusing on today. What remedy is going to help us today? Is vine. So let's reflect on vine. What's vine all about? Let's have a look here. Okay, vine people are efficient, certain, strong-willed, and ambitious. They are quick thinkers who can be depended upon in an emergency to give the correct orders and to direct others with confidence. Their tendency, however, is to use their great gifts to gain power and to dominate others. They ride roughshod over the opinions of others, and they can demand and expect unquestioning obedience. They crave power, are greedy for authority, and are ruthless in their methods of obtaining their ends. They never question the fact that they know better than anyone else, and they force their will upon one and all. Some typical extracts from letters about the vine type say, she is efficient and does everything well and expects everyone to do as she says. She laid down the law in her home and to all of her friends, who in consequence rarely come to see her. They can be tyrants and dictators, as are the parents who dominate their home with an iron discipline. They actually seem to enjoy their power over others, for they are hard and cruel, and without any compassion for those around them. When they are ill, they are prone to instruct the doctor, and those who tend them are kept busy trying to follow their instructions. They seldom argue because they are not so sure they are right. The vine people have no desire to convert others to their way, or because they are so sure they're right. The vine people have no desire to convert others to their way of thinking. They simply demand obedience, implicity, and without question, because they are right. Whenever they cannot gain power over somebody, they quickly lose interest in him and simply ignore him from then on. The rigid attitude and inflexible will of the vine type, together with the inherent cruel nature, often manifests in extreme tension. This in turn leads to painful physical complaints such as diseases involving stiffness, high blood pressure, hardening of the arteries, and other forms of physical disability. The fine positive side of the vine type is seen in the wise, loving, and understanding ruler, leader, or teacher. Anyone who possesses these qualities and uses them to guide others has no need to dominate. He is the one who helps people to know themselves and to find their path in life. He's the leader who can inspire those around him by his unshakable confidence and uncertainty. So if you're feeling like you're dominating others, or you're feeling a little inflexible in a situation, maybe you're feeling very ambitious in some way, this is one for you to help you to make sure that you are wise, loving, and an understanding ruler, leader, or teacher. Anyone who possesses those qualities and uses them to guide others. No need to dominate. He's the one who helps people to know themselves and find their path in life. A leader to inspire those around him. So here's a case history. He's a woman who's aged 38 and married. I'm a blood donor and I've rather overdone it. Now I have head pains and I'm very nervous about them. I can no longer wear a hat. I'm by nature very determined. I love my husband and my dog, but I rule them with a rod of iron. I get along well with people if they see things my way and when they do things my way. Vine, the type remedy, was prescribed for her dominating nature. Mimulus for the fear and nervousness about the head pains. 2 months later, she wrote again to say, I'm much better. The head pains have gone, and I am once again wear a hat. I'm not as aggressive as I was before. Woman who's aged 45, married. She was a mother of 3 children from whom she exacted absolute obedience. She was by nature a capable and determined woman. When she came to us, she was suffering from an arthritic knee, which prevented her from doing many things that she wanted to do, and that gave her a feeling of frustration and hopelessness. So vine was prescribed for her dominant nature, and gorse for the feeling of frustration and hopelessness. During a period of 3 months, she gradually began to improve. At the end of that time, she could walk normally and without any pain in her knee, although some stiffness remained. She said that she felt much happier in herself and that the entire family was much happier in their home. Treatment was continued for another month, and since then there's been no relapse. Just to give you an idea. So it's all about, if you're feeling like you're an authoritative man, but you've got other stuff going on in your life, we can describe other Bach flowers to look at the bigger picture. So interesting card to look at. Vine. So what cards could we prescribe for this time? So let's have a look. So if Vine's the majority, you're a Vine character type person. Found that you're normally quite authoritative, domineering, and other things are going on in your life as well. So you might get Gentian and one more. And water violet. So let's have a look and see what the Genetian is. Okay, Gentian. Sorry, Gentian is. Whoops. Okay, Gentian is about dealing, so you might be quite dominating, but you might have a little bit of doubt or depression. You might be feeling a little bit discouraged at this time. For those whose outlook is negative and who suffer from a deep depression and dark melancholy. Okay. And then you've got water violet. And this is about a sense of pride and aloofness. So even though you might be normally quite domineering, this is going to help with feeling a little bit, maybe you're feeling a little bit aloof at this time. You're not feeling quite yourself. Feeling out of sorts. With depression, maybe you're feeling a little bit of doubt about yourself. You know, you normally say that you're always right, but at the moment you're a little bit unsure about things. You know, don't seem to be quite in confidence with your normal. So you want to find that balance. So let's take a nice deep breath. Let's take a nice deep breath. Let's send through that vibrational healing. You're going to accept all healing at this time. It's going to help bring you into alignment. So we're applying the healing vibration. And we're going to verify when complete. Whew. Okay, that's complete. Is there anything else that needs to be done? Is there anything else that needs to be done at all? Okay, so nothing else. That's complete. So that's your Bach Flowers for today. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed day.